The diamonds are forever.
Hi everyone, this is AFCRDTV and welcome to highlights of Peterborough Northern Star against AFC Rushden Diamonds from the UCL Premier Division on Saturday. So after Northern Star beat Diamonds 3-2 at the Dog and Duck earlier on in the season, the Diamonds were certainly out for revenge in this one, although it was the home side that were largely dominant in the first period. And here, after a move down the left-hand side, the result was Tom Cross making a good save from Luke Avis. And the Peterborough side weren't really able to do anything with the resultant ball. Diamonds themselves then started to get a few opportunities. Here's Sean McBride forcing Northern Star keeper Nick Conroy into a smart save to avoid Luke Hunnings nodding into his own net. Before Diamonds eventually took the lead, it was Aaron King with a shot from distance. The Northern Star defence didn't quite deal with it, allowing Faisal Correa to score his latest goal, and that gave the visitors the lead in the 36th minute. That was the end of the action for the first period, so at half-time Peterborough Northern Star 0, AFC Rushden Diamonds 1. And on a pretty blustery afternoon, both teams did well really to get any opportunities on goal at all. In the second period, it was the Diamonds who were utterly dominant. First of the second half, Diamonds' chances came after a nice move down the right-hand side. Conroy again involved to ensure that Johnny Clay didn't deflect the ball into his own net. And that was before Dunkley had an opportunity just off target.
It's on the Deeping Road, I think.
And then later on it was Correa with a nice little dinked shot on goal, and that one too went just wide. Later on, a Correa shot resulted in very vociferous penalty appeals by the Diamonds fans behind the goal, but the referee said no. And then a cross from Matt Gearing was picked up by Correa on the far side. He then stormed into the area. His ball cut back was met by Matt Gearing, and then a combination of goalkeeper and defence managed to survive despite a Diamonds appeal for the ball crossing the line. And still the chances came for the visitors. Here Dunkley holding the ball up into Correa, and his shot went just wide. And then later on in what was a half full of Diamonds chances, Correa again involved. But again, unfortunately for the Diamonds, the shot going just wide. In the end, perhaps it was entirely inevitable that Northern Star would have an opportunity, and it was from that Nick Davey would nip through and score from a free kick that was rather weakly defended. So in the end, in this one, it finishes Peterborough Northern Star 1, AFC Rushden Diamonds 1. Two tough away draws sandwiching the Selby match then, and Diamonds now in 8th position in the UCL Premier Division.
I'm now with first team manager Mark Starmer following the 1-1 draw here at Peterborough Northern Star. Mark, thoughts on the game, please?
Ended up being very frustrating, if I'm honest. I thought North Star started very well, and of course there's a few issues, as I did in the home game. Cross made a couple of decent saves, and then we got into the game, scored the goal, and if I'm honest, there was only one side in the second half, and I just said to him in there, you know, they've had one chance in the second, or maybe two times they've got the ball in the box, but one real chance which we've created for them. Sloppy free kick to give away, and yet we've had 4 or 5 chances and not done it. So yeah, it is frustrating because it's another 3 points that we should have got over the 90. But how they started, you know, they started brightly, but we coped with that. We clawed ourselves back in the game and kept going, and we looked bright, and it was nice to see us going to the end, because we haven't been able to do that in a lot of games. We sort of petered out in the last 20-15 minutes, and today we kept going all the way. We could have scored right at the end, but it wasn't to be, and 1-1, a point, so we'll move forward.
And we've seen, like I said, I had a good start. We came back into it. The goal came at a good time for us.
Yeah, it did. And I just thought, we'd had 10-15 minutes of sort of withholding their pressure and what they were throwing at us, and then we got in it and had 20 minutes of a spell where we were just getting on top, and the goal sort of justified the pattern of play really, and 1-0 at half time, come out second half and just continued creating chances, looking brighter, in control of the game, and a sloppy whatever, fortunate goal has cost us 2 points.
And we certainly had our chances. Most of them were half chances, but a great chance with a goalmouth scramble. It seemed to look like Dunks headed it off the line.
Yeah, that was one of a few, wasn't it? But it is what it is in the minute. It's not running our way at the minute. The keeper's made a couple of decent saves as well, and but we'll keep going. We'll get the side together, and we'll move forward to Tuesday night, and hopefully at home we can get 3 points, which we desperately need. Not just for the lads, but for everybody connected to the club. So, yeah, we'll keep moving.
And it's been quite an interesting end to the week with Nat and Lance being released. The club's issued a statement. It seems to have split the supporters in half almost. Have you got anything else you'd like to say on the matter?
At the end of the day, we've got to react to things. Unfortunately, things just were getting a little bit out of hand, and it wasn't the first issue we'd had. There's a couple of issues prior to that, and when I get phone calls from players, a little bit disgruntled with that, what was going on. Peaksy and I spoke about it, and spoke to the chairman, and the three of us come to the decision that we would do as we did, and that's what we've done. At the end of the day, I rang them both, spoke to them both, went and saw them yesterday afternoon, got me kit, and they were quite happy to go. There was, there's no ill feeling there, but we had to stamp out because we were losing things within the dressing room, so we had to make a stance. Nothing was done just me solely. It was a team, collective effort, as everything is. Me and Peaksy decide everything, and this time we involved the chairman, and the chairman was 100% beyond what we wanted to do, and that's what we did.
And it's been a quite trying couple of weeks with players leaving for various reasons. Jake Gillingwater seems to be the one on the radar now. Can you tell us anything about Jake's future?
Yeah, Gilly's exactly the same as Wiz and Elliot. He wants to play. He's rang me a couple of times. I said on Tuesday night I've got to ring him in the morning, which I did, and we spoke about it. And to be fair to Jake, he's not going to be here for most of Christmas and January anyways. He's going to Singapore and Australia. So he's asked me a few questions, which I've answered honestly for him, and the chances are Jake will look for his football temporarily elsewhere.
But with Wiz and Elliot, the doors are not closed?
No, the door's not closed with Gilly either. At the end of the day, Gilly...
Yeah, sorry, I should have said as
Yeah. And with Elliot and Wiz, the door's always open. They've done it for their personal reasons, and I'm happy with that, and speak to them, and the door's always open. And the boys I've got in that change room have played today. They've worked ever so hard today, and they should have got 3 points. It hasn't happened, but we'll just regroup and we'll go again on Tuesday night.
And obviously with the spaces in the squad now, are you looking to bring any other players in, or will you be looking at players in the under-21s?
No, we'll involve Morgs and Louis and Rashid a bit more. Maybe get one or two, but we don't want to have the same issues what we've had in the last 2 months. If I go out and get 2 or 3 players, then I'm going to end up with the same issue. So, and I don't want to do that because I believe in that group of players in there. Me and Peaksy and Biff totally believe that group of players in there is capable of finishes as high as possible, and inside the top 5. So that's what we'll go with. will involve some of the others.
Lovely. Well, so the game's coming round thick and fast, so we got a chance on Tuesday to get 3 points over Huntingdon. We look forward to speaking to you after that.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Here I am with Matt Gearing, AFC Rushden Diamonds, man of the match, following the 1-1 draw with Peterborough Northern Star. Matt, your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think it was one of those games really. And when we stuck in first half, second half especially, we had most of the possession. We had chance after chance. I mean, they must have had, 2 chances in the second half and scored from it. But like most games, we kind of lift our heads up and we go again.
And they started pretty good. We were on the back foot. If that had been a bathroom, how would you say our start was?
Yeah, bad hygiene really. So
Once the first 20 minutes were on, we were dominated, and certainly second half, all our good play went through yourself and Joe down the right-hand side.
yeah, I think me and Joe do. We click quite well down the right. Again, with Brown on the left-hand side when I play on that side, it's nice to have full-backs that can run past you as well. But yeah, I mean, I thought we played quite well with that as well. So yeah.
And been a bit of a stop-start season for yourself. You started off fairly well, then were on the subs bench for a little while. You come back in the last couple of games and seem to be right at the top of your form again.
Yeah, it's a shame really because I did get, obviously, I deserved the start that I was getting at the beginning of the season. I thought I was playing quite well, and then I had a back injury where I was out for 3 weeks. The team, again, like Stam said, if you're playing well, you keep your shirt. And the team were playing well, especially having a good cup run in the FA Cup as well. And it's difficult to get back in, but hopefully, again, that I've got my shirt, hopefully I can keep it.
You understand that when you're, if the team's playing well and you're not in the starting 11, it's going to be difficult to get back in?
Yeah, I mean, I've been around for a long time now, and it's part and parcel of football, I think. If the team are playing well, you can't expect to come straight in. But I bide my time, have a few words with Stams as well as he did with me. And yeah, he told me to stick with it, stuck with it, and yeah, back playing again.
And you popped up on the right now, where we're used to seeing you on the left. Do you have any preference as to which side you play?
Not really, no. I mean, as a youngster when I was at Northampton, I was always brought up on the right-hand side, playing the right-hand side, getting crosses in. But I also like playing on the left where I can cut in and have shots, which I did obviously in the beginning of this season. I scored a few goals from that. But yeah, either side, it doesn't really bother me.
It's been an interesting end to the week. How has it affected you as players?
Yeah, it's sad to see obviously players go for we've got on quite well with obviously Weirs, Nat, Lance and that as well, Gilly who's gone as well. Especially as well when we were here last season, and the lads that have gone. But again, it's football. Unfortunately, obviously they want to play. Like myself, I was frustrated when I come back from my injury, but I stuck at it. And yeah, but it is sad to see because they are mates as well as players as well. So yeah.
Well, thanks for your honesty on that one, and we appreciate you coming out today. Thought you had an excellent game today, and hopefully see you later on in the season.
Fingers crossed.
Forever.